Have you ever stopped to wonder if the things you know about space are actually true? From school textbooks to news headlines, we've been fed simple explanations that feel obvious, yet many of them are completely wrong. Today, we're counting down from number 9 to number 1, exploring space facts that will completely flip what you thought you knew. And make sure to stick around until number 1 because that one will blow your mind. Number 9. Zero gravity is just an illusion. When you see astronauts calmly floating inside the space station, it looks like they have escaped gravity. But here's the truth, they're not floating, they're falling. Constantly. The space station orbits Earth at nearly 17,500 miles per hour, about 28,000 kilometers per hour. At that speed, it's always plummeting toward Earth. But because Earth curves away beneath it at exactly the same rate, the station keeps missing the ground. Picture standing on a giant spinning basketball. If you tried to jump off, you'd keep falling toward it, yet the surface would curve away faster than you could land. That's orbit. The weightless feeling astronauts have is the same one you get in a free-falling elevator, except for them, it never ends. Everything, the astronauts, their tools, even their morning coffee is in a state of permanent freefall together. That's why it all looks like floating. So next time you see astronauts drifting gracefully through space, remember they're not floating like magic. They're falling forever at 17,500 miles per hour, and they're just really, really good at missing the ground. Number 8. The great seasonal deception. Remember in elementary school when your teacher said, summer happens because Earth is closer to the sun? Yeah, that was a total lie. Here's the real story. In July, when the northern hemisphere is baking in summer heat, Earth is actually at its farthest point from the sun. In January, during northern hemisphere winter, we're millions of miles closer. So what's really going on, Tilt? Billions of years ago, something the size of Mars slammed into Earth, knocking our planet onto its side at an angle of 23.5 degrees. That tilt has never gone away. Because of this lean, in summer your half of the planet is tilted toward the sun. Sunlight hits more directly, like shining a flashlight straight down on a table. In winter your half is tilted away. The same sunlight spreads out at an angle like a weak flashlight beam glancing off the surface. That's why July is blazing hot, even though we're farther away, and January is freezing despite being closer. So the next time someone says summer means we're nearer to the sun, you can smile and tell them, actually, summer is Earth's tilted spotlight trick, not distance. Number 7, the sun is a master of disguise. We've grown up drawing the sun as a big friendly yellow ball in the sky. But here's the uncomfortable truth, the sun isn't yellow at all. It's blindingly white, so bright it would scorch your eyes in seconds if you looked at it without Earth's protective filter. Our atmosphere is basically running the ultimate Instagram filter. It scatters light in a way that makes the sun appear soft, golden and warm. But if you were floating above the atmosphere like an astronaut, you'd see the sun's true face, an intense sphere of nuclear fire glowing pure white. And it's not just hiding its color, it's hiding its terrifying power. Every second, the sun converts 4 million tons of matter into pure energy. That's the same as detonating 1 trillion nuclear bombs every single second. Those beautiful orange sunsets you photograph, they're just sunlight distorted by dust and atmosphere, basically nature's costume party for a raging nuclear furnace. So the next time you watch the golden sun sinking into the horizon, remember behind that soft glow is a star so violent it's literally peeling itself apart to keep us alive. Number 6. What really happens if you step into the void? Hollywood has lied to you for decades. Step outside a spaceship without a suit, and you won't instantly explode like a balloon in a cartoon. The truth is much creepier and far more disturbing. Here's what actually happens. In the vacuum of space, there's no air pressure holding your body together. Your blood and fluids start to boil not from heat, but from lack of pressure. It's called ebulism. Within seconds, tiny bubbles form in your blood and tissues, like your entire body turning into a shaken soda can. You'd begin to swell slowly, grotesquely, not in a comic balloonish way, but like a living body being quietly inflated. And yes, you'd stay conscious for about 15 seconds while this is happening. 15 long seconds of feeling your saliva fizz and boil on your tongue like pop rocks made from your own spit. Scientists know this from chilling real-life accidents during spacesuit tests. One survivor described the last thing he remembered before blacking out his spit bubbling on his tongue, boiling without heat. No explosion, no drama, just a slow, horrifying collapse as your body loses its last grip on Earth's protection. Number 5. Black holes aren't space vacuum cleaners. Pop culture loves to show black holes as giant cosmic Roombas sucking up everything in sight. But that's completely wrong. Black holes don't suck at all. They're more like invisible trapdoors in the fabric of reality. Here's the surprising part. If the sun were magically replaced by a black hole of the same mass, Earth wouldn't get pulled in. We'd keep orbiting exactly the same way, just in eternal darkness and freezing cold. Black holes don't drag in distant objects. They only dominate if you get dangerously close. And if you do, that's when things get truly horrifying. Scientists call it spaghettification. And yes, that's the real term. The gravity near a black hole is so extreme that it pulls harder on your feet than your head. You'd be stretched cell by cell until your body becomes a thread of atoms thinner than DNA. No noise, no cinematic whirlpools, just silent, absolute destruction as you unravel into subatomic spaghetti. So forget the giant vacuum image. Black holes aren't cleaners, they're shredders tearing apart anything unlucky enough to cross their invisible threshold. Number 4, Venus. The real hell planet. Most people assume Mercury, being closest to the Sun, is the hottest planet. But the real crown of cosmic misery belongs to Venus, and it's not even close. Here's why Venus makes Mercury look tame. Surface temperature about 900 degrees Celsius, 475 degrees. Hot enough to melt lead into puddles. Atmospheric pressure 90 times stronger than Earth's. That's like standing half a mile underwater, except instead of water, it's toxic gas. Weather forecast perpetual clouds of sulfuric acid. Acid rain so corrosive it could dissolve a car in minutes. But the drops never reach the surface because they vaporize in the superheated air. And the cruelest twist, Venus wasn't always hell. Scientists believe it once had oceans, maybe even the conditions for life. But a runaway greenhouse effect spiraled out of control. Carbon dioxide trapped the sun's heat, the oceans boiled away, and the entire planet transformed into a pressure cooker of death. If Earth is what happens when a planet gets climate balance right, Venus is what happens when that balance collapses. A burning warning sign sitting right next door. Number 3. Wishing on space garbage. A shooting star streaking across the night sky feels magical. People make wishes on them, poets write about them, and couples share them on romantic dates. But here's the harsh truth. Shooting stars are nothing more than space trash burning to death. What you're really seeing is tiny rocks sometimes smaller than a grain of rice slamming into Earth's atmosphere at over 100,000 miles per hour. The friction is so intense that they ignite, instantly burning up in a blaze of fire. It's less celestial miracle and more like watching a bug splatter against a windshield at Mach 50. Most of these fragments are just leftovers from comets, bits of frozen dirt and dust drifting through space. When they hit our skies, they vaporize in seconds. So that shooting star you made a wish on, it wasn't a gift from the cosmos. It was cosmic litter, tiny pieces of comet debris turning into plasma as they met their fiery end. Number 2. Fireballs that are frozen solid. When you see a blazing meteor streak across the night sky, it looks like a ball of fire tearing through space. But here's the twist on the inside, that fireball is actually frozen solid. Here's how it works. Many meteors are made of rock and ice colder than 400 to 140 degrees in the vacuum of space. When they enter Earth's atmosphere, they slam into the air at incredible speeds, compressing it into plasma hotter than the surface of the sun. The outside glows white hot, but that fiery shell acts like insulation heat, barely penetrates deeper than a fingernail. Scientists have even recovered meteorites just minutes after impact, only to find frost still clinging to their surfaces. Imagine touching a rock that was just wrapped in plasma, and instead of burning you, it gives you frostbite. Every shooting fireball is really nature's strangest paradox. A frozen rock dressed up in a costume of fire burning on the outside while staying ice cold at its core. Number 1, Mars and its secret blue sunsets. We call it the red planet, a world of rust and dust. But Mars has been keeping a secret that flips everything upside down. When the sun sets on Mars, the sky turns blue. Here's why. On Earth, our thick atmosphere scatters blue light in all directions. That's why the daytime sky looks blue, and sunsets glow orange and red as the sun sinks low. Mars is the opposite. Its thin, dusty atmosphere scatters red light instead, letting the blue light pass straight through. The result: as the sun dips below the Martian horizon, the sky glows with a deep electric blue, like someone painted the end of the day with neon light. And here's another twist: during the Martian daytime, the sky isn't red at all. It's a soft butterscotch color. So the red planet doesn't give you a red sky or red sunsets. It gives you golden days and sapphire evenings. Mars may look like a barren desert, but every sunset there is an alien light show, a reminder that even the most familiar worlds can still surprise us. And that's the countdown 9 space facts that turned out to be myths, illusions, or outright lies. From zero gravity to blue Martian sunsets, the universe isn't just stranger than we think, it's stranger than we can think. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending truths about our universe.